May 5th, 1 Chronicles 12, 13, and 14. 1 Chronicles 12. Now these are they who came to David at Ziklag, while he was still in hiding from Saul, son of Kish. And they were among the mighty men helping the battle, armed with bows, using both the right hand and the left, with stones and with arrows, with bows of the brothers of Saul and Benjamin. The chief was Ahiezer and Joash, the sons of Shema, the Gibbethite, and Yisrael, the Pelet, and Pelet, the sons of Azamoeth, and Berakah, and Yehu, the Anathonite, and Yishmaiah, the Hebronite, a mighty man among the 30, and over the 30, and Yirmiah, and Yaaziel, and Yohanan, and Yozabad, the Gederathite, and Eluzai, and Yerimoth, and Bealyah, and Shemar Yahu, and Shaphat Yahu, the Haruphite, Elkanah, and Yishshua, and Azrael, and Yaezer, and Yashobam, the Korathite, Korhites, and Yoelah, and Ebadiah, the sons of Jeroham of Geder. And some of the Gadites separated themselves to David at the stronghold in the wilderness, mighty brave men trained for battle, who could handle shield and spear, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were as swift as gazelles on the mountains. Ezer the chief, Obadiah the second, Eliab the third, Mishmanah the fourth, Jeremiah the fifth, Attai the sixth, Eliel the seventh, Johanan the eighth, Ezabad the ninth, Yirmiyahu the 10th, Mechbanai the 11th. These were from the sons of Gad, chiefs of the army. The least was over 100, and the greatest was over 1,000. These were the ones who passed over the Jordan in the first new moon, when it was overflowing all its banks, and put to flight all those in the valleys, to the east and to the west. And some of the children of Benjamin and Judah came to David at the stronghold. And David went out to face them and answer them, and said to them, "You have come peaceably to me to help me. My heart shall be united with you. But if to betray me to my enemies, there is no violence in my hands. Let the Elohim of our fathers see and reprove." Then the Spirit came upon Amasai, chief of the officers. "Yours, O David, and with you, O son of Yeshai, peace to you, and peace to your helpers. For your Elohim shall help you." And David received them, and put them among the chiefs of the raiding band. And some from Manasseh went over to David, and when he was going with the Philistines to battle against Saul. But they did not help him, for the princes of the Philistines took advice, and sent them away, saying, "He might go over to his master Saul with our heads." When he went to Ziklag, those of Manasseh who went over to him were Adnah, and Yozabad, and Yediael, and Milkael, and Yozabad, and Elihu, and Zelethai, chiefs of the thousands who were from Manasseh. And they helped David against the raiding bands, for they were all mighty brave men, and they were commanders in the army. For at that time they came to David day by day to help him, until it was a great army, like an army of Elohim. And these were the numbers of the chiefs of those that were armed for battle, and came to David at Hebron, to turn over the reign of Saul to him, according to the word of Yah. Of the children of Judah, bearing shield and spear, 6,800 armed for battle. Of the children of Shimon, mighty brave men for the army, 7,100. Of the children of Levi, 4,600. Jehoiada, the leader of the Aaronites, and with him 3,700. Zadok, a young man, a mighty brave man from his father's house, 22 commanders. And the children of Benjamin, relatives of Saul, 3,000. Until then, the greatest part of them guarded the charge of the house of Saul. And the children of Ephraim, 20,800 mighty brave ones, men of name throughout their father's house. And the half-tribe of Manasseh, 18,000, who were designated by name to come and set up David to reign. And the children of Issachar, who had an understanding of the times, to know what Israel should do, their chiefs were 200, and all their brothers acted at their mouth. Of Zebulun there were 50,000 going out to the army, arranging battle with all weapons of battle, giving support with undivided heart. And of Naphtali 1,000 commanders, and with them 37,000 with shield and spear. And of the Danites, arranging battle, 28,600. And Asher, going out to the army, arranging for battle, 40,000. And of the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh from beyond the Jordan, 120,000 armed for battle, with every kind of weapon of battle. All these men of battle, keeping rank, came to Hebron, with a perfect heart to set up David to reign over all Israel. And all the rest of Israel were of one heart to set up David to reign. And they were there with David 3 days, eating and drinking, for the brothers had prepared for them. And also those who were near to them, from as far away as Issachar, Zebulun, and Naphtali, were bringing food on donkeys and camels, on mules and cattle, food of flour and cakes of figs, and cakes of raisins, wine and oil, and cattle and sheep in great quantities, for there was joy in Israel. 1 Chronicles 13. And David consulted with the commanders of thousands and hundreds, and with every leader. And David said to all the assembly of Israel, If it seems good to you, and if it is of Yah, our Elohim, let us send out to our brothers everywhere, who are left in all the land of Israel, and with them to the priests and Levites who are in their cities of their open lands, and let them be gathered to us. And let us bring the ark of our Elohim back to us, for we sought him not since the days of Saul. And all the assembly agreed to do so, for the matter was right in the eyes of all the people. So David assembled all Israel, from Shihor in Egypt as far as the entrance of Hamath, to bring back the ark of Elohim from Kiriath Yearim. And David and all Israel went up to Baalah, to Kiriath Yearim of Judah, to bring up the ark, from there the ark of Elohim, Yah, who dwells between the cherubim, where the name is called on. And they placed the ark of Elohim on a new wagon from the house of Abinadab, and Uzzah and Ahio were leading the wagon. And David and all Israel were playing before Elohim with all their might, and with songs, and with lyres, and with harps, and with tambourines, and with cymbals, and with trumpets. And when they came to the threshing floor of Gidon, Uzzah put out his hand to hold the ark, for the oxen stumbled. Then the wrath of Yah burned against Uzzah, and he struck him because he put his hand to the ark, and he died there before Elohim. And David was displeased because Yah had broken out against Uzzah, Therefore that place is called Peretz Uzzah until this day. And David was afraid of Elohim that day, saying, How shall I bring the ark of Elohim to me? And David did not take the ark with him into the city of David, but took it aside into the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. And the ark of Elohim remained with the household of Obed-Edom in his house 3 new moons. And Yah blessed the house of Obed-Edom and all that he had. 1 Chronicles 14. And Hiram, sovereign of Sor, sent messengers to David, and cedar trees with stonemasons and carpenters, to build him a house. And David knew that Yah had established him as sovereign over Israel, for his reign was highly exalted for the sake of his people Israel. And David took more wives in Jerusalem, and David brought forth more sons and daughters. And these are the names of his children whom he had in Jerusalem: Shemua, and Shobab, Nathan, and Shilomo, Solomon, and Yibhar, and Yeshua, Elishua, and Elpelet, and Noga, and Nepheg, and Yaphia, and Elishama, and Belial-Yada, and Eliphalet. And when the Philistines heard that David had been anointed sovereign over all Israel, all the Philistines went up to seek David. And David heard and went out against them. And the Philistines came and made a raid on the valley of Rephaim. And David inquired of Elohim, saying, Do I go up against the Philistines? And shall you give them into my hand? And Yah said to him, Go up, and I shall give them into your hand. And they went up to Baal Perazim, and David struck them there. Then David said, Elohim has broken through my enemies by my hand, like a breaker through of water. So they called the name of that place Baal Perazim. And they left their mighty ones there. So David commanded, and they were burned with fire. And the Philistines once again made a raid on the valley. And David again inquired of Elohim. And Elohim said to him, Do not go up after them, go around them, and come upon them in front of the mulberry trees. And it shall be, when you hear a sound of stepping in the tops of the mulberry trees, then go out to battle. For Elohim shall go out before you to strike the camp of the Philistines. And David did as Elohim commanded him, and they struck the army of the Philistines from Gibeon as far as Gezer. And the name of David went out into all lands, and Yah put the dread of him upon all nations.